Yuta Togashi is entering high school at a new school, and he wants to move away from his previous behavior in middle school, where he acted like a chunibyo, a term for someone who has childhood fantasies. Now Yuta wants to move away from his embarrassing past and become a normal high school boy. On his way to school, he spots fellow classmate Rika Takonashi coming down the apartment balcony. Yuta heads to his first day of high school by train and makes friends with Makoto Ishiki, who's on the lookout for the cutest girls in class. Yuta notices Rika acting a bit peculiar, showing signs of what they call chunibyo syndrome. He ends up taking her to the school infirmary when he realizes she overheard him venting about his past fantasies. Even though Yuta has moved on from those fantasies, Rika believes he's her soulmate. After the opening ceremony, Makoto asks Yuta to hang out, where their homeroom teacher, Nanose Tsukumo, assigns Yuta the task of walking Rika home because she just moved in next door with her older sister Toka Takonashi. When Yuta gets home by train, his younger sister Kuzuha tells him that Rika's stuff was delivered to their apartment. After helping Rika move her things, she asks him to hold onto his old mementos. Rika discovers a lost cat at the playground and thinks it's a special creature, but she can't take it home because Toka is allergic and Yuta doesn't want it. After a meeting, Yuta feels uneasy around Shinka Nobutani, the class rep, in the school kitchen, but things get even weirder when Rika shows up. Then Kyumin Tsuyuri asks about the stray cat, thinking it might be her lost one, Dodoman. Yuta and Kyumin check out Rika's room, full of strange stuff, but the cat isn't Dodoman. Suddenly, Toka chases Rika into Yuta's room below, and Rika gets hurt. Toka threatens to reveal Yuta's embarrassing past unless he gets rid of the cat. But when Rika runs off with the cat, Yuta and Kyumin take the recording of his embarrassing behavior. Toka confronts them at the playground and wins. Eventually, Yuta agrees to keep the stray cat at his place. It's been a month since Yuta started high school. During lunch, he notices how particular Rika is about her food, even giving him a taste of weird rice. At club presentations, Yuta wonders which club to join but ends up meeting Rika under the Ginkgo tree. She wants to start the Far East Magical Society, but only Kyumin joins, starting the Napping Club instead. Yuta tries out for other clubs, but worries when Rika calls for backup. The next day, Rika's friend Sanae Dekamori, who shares her fantasies, shows up in Yuta's room. Rika says Sanae will join their club. Even without a fifth member, Nanose offers them a classroom if they clean it up. Yuta hesitates about joining until Shinka decides to join, changing the club's name to the Far East Magical Napping Society. During a quiz, Yuta wonders why Shinka joined the club. Rika and Sanae take Yuta to the club room and pretend to cast a spell. When Shinka shows up, Sanae notices her notebook, the Mabinogen, is missing. Shinka asks Yuta if she can come to his place on Sunday. Yuta tries to distract Rika and Sanae that day. When Shinka arrives, she searches Yuta's room frantically for the notebook. Yuta finds it, realizing it's her journal from her chunibyo days as Mori Summer. Shinka is embarrassed and burns the notebook. She admits she joined the club to get rid of it, but Sanae has copies. Sanae doesn't believe Shinka is Mori Summer, so Yuta suggests they talk on a bridge. Shinka cracks under pressure and agrees to stay in the club until she gets rid of the evidence. After getting a low score on her math midterm, Rika learns from Nanose that her club could be shut down if she fails the math semester exam. Rika isn't taking her studies seriously, but Sanae turns out to be the top student in their grade. Rika tries to boost the club's standing by cleaning the school swimming pool, but it turns into playtime instead of work. Nanose tells Rika she needs to reach the class average to save the club. Yuta tries to help Rika study in her room, but she keeps getting distracted. During a break, they exchange email addresses. Yuta promises to create a new email for Rika if she passes her test, using different rewards each day to motivate her. Rika's math score isn't great, but it's just enough to stay above the class average, so Yuta sets up a new email for her. During art class, Yuta and Rika sketch each other, getting different reactions from classmates. Later, Makoto seeks Yuta's advice about a secret love letter, thinking Shinka wrote it. In the clubroom, Yuta sees Shinka and Sanae arguing, then Makoto walks in. Shinka warns him to forget what he saw. Makoto accidentally drops his notebook, listing girls' rankings, near the train station. It's found by Inomata and spreads to the class. Makoto admits it's his but offers to shave his head as an apology. Despite protests, Yuta gives him a buzz cut. At the Ginkgo tree, other boys support Makoto. He starts liking Kyumin, who likes his new look. That night, Toka invites Yuta and Rika on summer vacation. Yuta, Rika, Shinka, Kyumin, Sanae, and Makoto hop on a train for their summer break. Yuta notices Rika is unusually quiet. At Rika and Toka's grandparents' cottage, everyone gets to know each other. Yuta finds out Rika didn't want to live with her grandparents 2 years ago. After a day at the beach, Yuta learns Rika and Toka's dad passed away from an illness 3 years ago. Rika hasn't accepted it and won't visit his grave. She skips dinner, worrying Yuta. He helps her sneak away from Toka and takes her to where they used to live. But it's an empty lot now. Toka shows up, reminding Rika of the truth. During their argument, Toka makes Rika face the fact that their old home is gone and their dad passed away. Yuta tells Toka that Rika's fantasies aren't meant to deny the truth. Rika runs off and Yuta follows her onto the train home. Along the way, Yuta tells Rika he started pretending to be someone else when he lost his old friends. Back home, Rika realizes she forgot her keys and Yuta's family is out. They'll be alone overnight. Yuta and Rika go to the store for food. Later, when Makoto and Kyumin show up there, Makoto asks Yuta for advice. Yuta wonders if he has feelings for Rika. As Yuta tries to sleep, he realizes Rika might feel something for him too. Shinka wants the club to get involved in the upcoming cultural festival called the Jinko Festival, but Yuta hasn't talked to Rika properly since summer vacation. When they reveal the festival's theme as a performance starring Yuta and Rika, others worry because the two haven't been the same since the beach incident. Yuta thinks Rika is still upset, so he tries talking to her at lunch, but she avoids him. Rika tells Kyumin that Yuta is under an evil spell, and tries a ritual with Sanae to cleanse him, but Yuta sees through it. Meanwhile, Shinka tells Kyumin that Rika likes Yuta. Later, Shinka encourages Rika to confess her feelings. After failed attempts, Yuta saves Rika from falling off the school roof. Rika confides her feelings for Yuta to Sanae, while Yuta seeks advice from Makoto about telling Rika his feelings. After school, Yuta and Rika struggle to confess to each other. Despite the awkwardness, Rika confesses first. Back home, Yuta meets Toka at a restaurant. Toka shares that she's going to culinary training in Italy, so Rika will stay with their mom, who Rika ignored after their dad passed away. Toka asks Yuta to help Rika outgrow her Chunibyo phase to get along with their mom. On the day of the Jinko festival, Yuta and Rika get ready for their performance. Yuta meets Rika's mom, who gives him a lunch for Rika. Later, Yuta suggests Rika remove her eye patch, which upsets her. During the after party, Rika sings her dad's favorite song on stage. She takes off her eye patch, revealing she's no longer wearing her golden contact in one eye. While Toka is away in Italy, it's been 3 weeks since Rika took off her eye patch. She's finding it hard to adjust to being normal, and Sanae isn't happy about it on the way to school. In the library, Shinka asks Yuta if he regrets helping Rika, but he sees that Toka isn't worried anymore, and things are going well with Rika's mom. Rika's making new friends at school, and tells Shinka, Sanae, and Makoto that the club is over, which upsets Sanae. Later, Yuta helps Rika pack away her Chunibyo stuff to get ready for her mom's visit, but he starts to question if it's the right thing to do. When Rika goes to her dad's grave by train, Sanae talks to Yuta about how Rika wanted him to accept her Chunibyo side. Even though he feels the same, Yuta snaps at Sanae instead, thinking it wouldn't help if he told Rika. Yuta grows concerned about not seeing Rika lately. Sanae drops her Chunibyo act, while Kyumin starts acting like Rika, which annoys Yuta. They clear out the club room, and Shinka tells Yuta that having a Chunibyo persona is like being in the drama club. At night, Yuta finds out Rika moved in with her mom and grandparents. Feeling guilty, he reads a letter from his past self and decides to find Rika. On the way, Kyumin tells him a message from Rika, saying they met 2 years ago after her dad died, and she admired his Chunibyo behavior, which inspired her own. Yuta picks up Rika at the cottage and accepts their Chunibyo personas. He takes her to the invisible boundary line so she can say goodbye to her dad. Rika starts acting Chunibyo again, even though Yuta finds it a bit embarrassing. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.